Hello everyone and welcome to the DCS Warbirds update for November 2019. This will also include information from October. I did not make an October update due to real life commitments, but here we are with an update covering both October and November. Let's begin the video then with the F4U Corsair. Now this aircraft is being developed by Leatherneck Simulations, a third-party developer for DCS. This is the developer who have also produced the MiG-21. In an autumn newsletter, Leatherneck provided a video which is about 1 minute long, and it shows the Corsair model landing on a carrier. Unfortunately, they've overlaid some pretty strong graphics effects over the video, and it's black and white, so it was extremely hard to actually see any detail in the video they uploaded. Additionally, there were a couple of photos of the aircraft. We saw the cockpit interior, both in the daylight and in the evening with the cockpit lighting on. After that October update, things went a little bit quiet again, and then right at the end of November, start of December, Leatherneck posted an image which shows a fairly well-developed F4U model inside DCS firing its guns. But once again, they've added a lot of effects to this image in Photoshop or some sort of after production, post-production image processing, and essentially all the background detail of DCS is missing, but we do get a reasonable view of the aircraft itself from above and on its port side. Now, the very biggest bit of news regarding the F4U actually came from Hiromachi on the 5th of December. So this is just a little bit outside the scope of this video, which I really should keep to October and November. But I just had to mention this, and that is that the F4U Corsair model flying and in DCS will be shown off at the VFAT 2019 virtual air show. Now this is going to be occurring, I believe, within 24 hours of this video going live. I will paste a link to the specifics of the VFAT virtual air show in the description to this video below. I recommend that if the time zone suits you, you have an interest in the Corsair, that you check out this air show, which will be streamed live on a number of channels, I believe. So tune into that and get a glance at the F4 in DCS flying for the first time for public view. The exact time and date for the air show is the 7th of December 2019. The air show is scheduled for 23:20 Greenwich Mean Time. So convert that to your local time zone if you're interested and you manage to watch this video in time to find out about this. By far the biggest piece of news relating to the overall DCS World War II project during October and November came from within an interview that Mudspike conducted with Matt Wagner, who is a senior producer at Eagle Dynamics. Now, Matt spent quite some time with these guys over at Mudspike discussing bits of the World War II project, and this is tucked inside his wider interview about the overall DCS development. I did do a relatively comprehensive video on that interview during October, so rather than repeat all of that content here, I will paste a link to that video in the description below. Let's take a look now at some of the changes that have been implemented by Eagle Dynamics over the last 2 months to the DCS core itself, which relate to World War II. Reflected Simulations at the end of October updated a number of his/their single-player campaigns. The 109K4 Jagdflieger campaign, the P-51D Blue-Nosed Bastards of Bodny campaign, and the Spitfire 9 Big Show campaign were all updated. In addition to that, on that same update on the 31st of October, Eagle Dynamics updated a number of the sounds for the Spitfire Mark 9. I already produced a video when those sounds were updated, and I'll also provide a link to that in the description to this one below. Early in November, Nineline informed everyone that there was a small update to the Focke-Wulf 190. They had identified a circuit breaker issue which was associated with some Lua files. That was fixed, and thanks to the community for identifying that little issue with the 190, which should now have been resolved as well. As most DCS players will already be aware, we also have now got the first iteration of the integrated voice over IP system within DCS. This means now that it is not necessary to download a third-party application to communicate over voice. As I said, this is the first iteration. It's a very basic system to begin with, but Eagle Dynamics have outlined the plan to fully integrate this eventually with the in-cockpit radios of the aircraft. The hope is then that it will begin to replace SRS as the preferred in-game voice communications tool. On the forums over the past couple of weeks, or over the past week in particular, ongoing questions or renewed questions from the player base about the Focke-Wulf 190 F8 have resurfaced. Now, this is an aircraft that was originally proposed quite some time ago, and information about its development has been rather limited. However, the players have started asking questions, particularly since the 3rd of December when Snappage asked about this on the DCS forums. I suggest if you're interested in that aircraft in particular, find the thread on the forums. As usual, I'll link it below and put your 2 cents in. Let's see if we can get some information back from Eagle Dynamics or whoever may be developing that as a third party about where that module is and when we can expect its release. To the last item then for this particular video, I have been pushing Eagle Dynamics just a little bit on their forums about progress of the World War II Assets Pack update. This had originally been planned for release in August of this year, and now we are basically at the end of the year, and I'm keen to know when that is going to be due to be delivered. I prompted on the forums, as I said, Nineline has responded, but unfortunately we are not really much the wiser yet. So if the assets pack is of interest to you, please also jump on that particular thread. Let's put some pressure on the developer here to let us know what plans are. I know there's a couple of players and servers in particular who are keenly watching for the release of that asset pack. And that concludes the video for October and November. As I said right at the start, looking forward to the virtual air show with the showcasing of the F4U, and I may indeed be on the Storm of War Discord if I can get up in the middle of the night to watch that. Anyone's welcome to join to chat about that video live when it is shown.